Hey guys, welcome to The Reality Pill, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of modern dating culture. And of course, here's your meme of the day. I mean, you guys, if this isn't the most accurate representation of the current state of affairs, I don't know what is. It's the classic boss babe to cat lady pipeline that we see playing out in real time every single day. They spend their prime years treating men like disposable accessories and then act shocked when the subscription expires. Oof. Okay, so I guess we can officially call this a total failure and backfire. At first, it was only looking as if it was heading that direction, but at this point, I think it's made contact. We're witnessing the ultimate backfire of the strong and independent narrative. These modern women have spent years being told that they should give nothing, demand everything, and treat men as if helping them is some kind of bad omen. And now, well, now they're waking up to empty houses, realizing that their 4 proposals in the past don't mean a frickin' thing when they're sitting on the side of the road with a flat tire and no one to call. It's absolutely mind-boggling how they didn't see this coming. Not exactly the fairy tale ending they were hoping for, huh? Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that, exactly what's going on. We got some stuff to get into, and it is a wild ride of entitlement followed by a very harsh landing into reality. So let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so we've got to start with the manifesto. This is the source code for the delusion. We've got a woman here explaining the strategy that she thinks is going to lead to a happy life. Let's see how this works out for her. We got a woman here who is literally saying the quiet part out loud. She's not even trying to hide the entitlement anymore. She claims that being a burden is actually the goal in a relationship.
And remember, ladies, the whole plot is to be useless, self-centered, and selfish with your body. The game is to do less, give less, and require more.
Give me a freaking break. Did you guys hear that? The plot is to be useless. What an absolute clown show. I am baffled. I'm sitting here asking myself, what the hell is she even talking about? Imagine a man getting on the internet and saying, hey fellas, the goal is to be a lazy, broke, unhelpful burden to your woman. He would be obliterated. But here she is, telling an entire generation of women that the game is to provide zero value while demanding the world. Yeah, I don't think that's how the dating market works, sweetheart. You think a high-value man, the kind of man you definitely think you deserve, is looking for a useless and self-centered partner? In what world? She wants to do less, give less, and require more. Basically, she's describing a parasite. She wants a man to provide the lifestyle, the protection, and the leadership, while she brings, what? Selfishness with her body? The reality is that this mentality is exactly why the loneliness epidemic among women is about to skyrocket. Men are waking up. We are done being the only ones bringing something to the table while being told that her presence is the prize. And now, obviously, here's the problem. These are the same women who will scream about equality when it's time to get a promotion, but the second they enter a relationship, they want to be useless. You can't have it both ways. You can't be a boss babe in the boardroom and a useless burden in the living room and expect a man to respect you. And of course, it's not just her. This didn't just happen in a vacuum. This don't help men mentality has become a full-blown superstition. Take a look at this next one, where helping a man is apparently bad luck.
Giving a man money brings you bad luck. Helping out a man in general brings you bad luck. And I genuinely believe this because I don't know if y'all have noticed this, but every single time a woman gets on the internet to talk about how she helped a man or how she gave him money, nothing good ever comes after that. It's like a bad omen. The more you help a man, the more misfortune comes your way. Once you give a man money, your car, or a place to stay, you're doomed. You're doomed. And I hate that this is such a canon event for so many women, but y'all got to learn that helping a man out is not going to make him like or love you more. It actually has the opposite effect. The moment that money leaves your hand and goes to a man is the moment the misfortune starts. The moment money leaves your hand and goes to a man, however much he likes you, liked or loved you, that gets cut in half right away. And every time you give him money after that, or you help him after that, it gets cut in half every single time. Again, I'm not even joking. The more that you help them, the more that they don't like you. And I know society is always telling women the opposite, saying, oh, help your partner, help him when he's down on his luck, help him get back on his feet. Do not do it, y'all. Do not do it. That is when the bad luck starts. I'm telling you.
I am sitting here in total disbelief. Helping a man brings you bad luck? Oh, hell no. Let's be clear. She's not talking about bad luck. She's talking about her own refusal to be a partner. Let me get this straight. If your partner is down on his luck or needs a hand or just wants some support, giving it to him is a bad omen? These women want a traditional provider who will help them with everything, but the moment the roles might briefly reverse, it's misfortune. This is the same group of people who will wonder why Nomai wants to commit to them for the long haul. Why would he? You've literally just told him that if he's ever in a tight spot, you'll be running for the hills to avoid bad luck. But of course, it gets even worse. Because while they're being useless and refusing to help, they still think they hold all the power. They think they are the choosers and that men are just lucky to be in their orbit.
Men don't really have a say in who gets picked, and they never really did. They had to force it to be that way. So always remember that. At the end of the day, the right type of man will want to be picked.
And don't let men manipulate you into thinking, because men will say stuff like, men choose who get married, and because we the ones who propose and all that. Don't fall for that, because the woman still has to say yes. So At the end of the day, we decide.
And I was going to say, Sovereign, how many men have proposed to you?
It's been 4, and I don't care. It might be another 4.
And you didn't pick any of them. And they all were competing for your attention. They were competing for the rest of your life. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. You've had 4 proposals and you're still single. Talking to a microphone about how much power you have. That makes total sense. No, it doesn't. Brothers, listen up. This is the delusion. She thinks because 4 guys in her past, probably when she was younger and had more market value, offered her a ring, that she has a lifetime pass to pick whoever she wants. But notice, she's still sitting there. She's picking her way into a lonely 40s. These women think they are the ones choosing, but the market is the one doing the choosing now, and the market is saying no thanks to the useless and the selfish. And for me, it really begs the question, what happens when the useless strategy meets actual reality? What happens when the man you've been treating like an option finally decides he's had enough? We've seen the boss babe talk. We've seen the I'm the prize talk. Now, let's see what happens when the bad luck finally catches up. Welcome to the wall. This is the part of the video where the fantasy ends and the consequences begin. We've got a woman here who woke up to a very different life. And while she wants to play the victim, I want you guys to listen to the background of what she says.
My husband and my son snuck out while I was sleeping and moved out. I obviously have been talking about what I'm going through on here a little bit. Honestly, I haven't even really began to dive into what has happened, but this morning I woke up. A little bit after I woke up, I realized my son's car wasn't here. And a little backstory, my husband has been living in the house. He's been living in the basement. We have a completely finished basement that's kind of like an in-law suite. So he's been living down there. I don't bother him down there. I probably see him maybe 10 minutes a whole day. The only thing I kind of asked was if he's coming and going to let me know when he's leaving so that I know who's in and out of the house, which I feel like is kind of reasonable. Like, I don't know where he goes half the time. Anyway, I noticed my son's car wasn't here, and neither was his, but his usually isn't here in the morning. My son's car is always here. He almost never leaves the house unless he has class and he's still on break. So I texted my husband and was like, hey, where's our son? I assume my husband was at pickleball and would text me when he was done, except my phone started ringing almost immediately and it was him. And he then informed me that he and my son, while I was sleeping this morning, snuck and moved out and didn't tell me. Now, do I expect my husband to tell me that he's moving out? Well, I kind of expect him to tell me. If he wants to move out, he can move out, but I literally said something to him earlier this week where I was like, I feel like there's something going on that you're not telling me. And he's like, no, nothing. Why couldn't you just tell me? Why'd you have to lie? He knows I hate lying. It's like the universe's joke. I hate lying so much, and he's a pathological liar. I should have known. I was really hurt, actually, that my son clearly knew that this was happening and didn't say anything to me. Didn't say to his father, I feel uncomfortable being put in this situation. Maybe you should tell her the truth. And that he moved. Like, my son and my husband are close, but I don't know. I'm pretty hurt by it, actually. I'm really trying not to cry. Like, what kind of person does that? And like, I'm hurt by my son, but I can't really be mad at him because I know he was manipulated in the situation. I know that my husband probably presented it to him in a way where my son didn't realize he was being manipulated and felt like he had to make a choice. I'm sure my husband said, I'm moving out. Do you want to move out with me? Which then makes my son feel like he has to make that choice and make a decision instead of saying, I'm moving out. I'm just letting you know. Where then my son isn't put in that position to make a choice and can think about it and make a choice later, maybe have a conversation with me as well, instead of sneaking out while I was sleeping and not telling me. This is the kind of man that he is. This is exactly who he is. He is very sneaky. He lies about just about everything. It's just who he is. I had actually accepted that is who he is and just kind of ignored it and was just living with it for many, many years. But I'm still in shock. Like, I had a couple panic attacks. I've been crying. I've called my dad. Damn it. Like, when does it end? My whole life, my entire childhood was surviving abuse. My first marriage was living with somebody who wouldn't talk to me. And in the last 20 years have been me just trying to get through every day with somebody who clearly hates me. The hardest part is feeling a little betrayed by my kids. I don't want to be angry about it because I know that they've been manipulated, but it still hurts. And I just feel very alone.
Welcome to reality. Now, I know some of you might think, oh, that's sad. But look at the facts. Her husband and her son, the two most important men in her life, collaborated to sneak out in the middle of the night just to get away from her. Give me a frickin' break. If your own son chooses to sneak out with his father rather than stay with you, you aren't the victim of a pathological liar. You are the common denominator. This is what happens after 20 years of that useless and selfish mentality. When you treat the men in your life like they are there to serve you, eventually they're gonna find a basement they can actually escape from. The wall isn't just about looks, fellas. It's about the moment your entitlement finally exceeds your value, and the people around you realize they're better off without the bad luck of being near you. And if you think that was a reality check, look at this one. The independent woman narrative meets a mechanical failure.
Humbling moment for me right now. I had some car trouble this morning, apparently. I'm on the side of the road. Instead of thinking about how much money this is gonna cost, instead of thinking about what repairs I need, what's going through my mind right now is the fact that I don't have no man to call in a time like this. I don't have no man that can sit here on the phone and wait while I'm waiting for this tow truck. I don't have a man to come meet me so that I don't get snatched up by this tow truck driver. I don't have a man to call to sit on the phone with me while I'm getting the tow truck. I don't have a man to meet me at the mechanic. I think it's time for us to accept we need men. As much as we say we don't, we need men.
Welcome to reality, sweetheart. It's all fun and games to be useless and selfish when the sun is shining and the car is running. But the second the strong and independent tire blows out, suddenly the I don't need a man script gets tossed in the trash. She says, I'm independent and I don't need a man. What she means, I don't want to provide any value to a man until I need him to protect me from a tow truck driver. It's absolutely mind-boggling. They spend years mocking men, calling us hesitant or weak, and then the moment life gets real, they realize they're terrified of being alone. This proves that modern dating culture has become a complete disaster. It's a system where women are encouraged to be useless and selfish, while men are expected to be the ever-present safety net. But here's the reality. Men are opting out.
Women always ask me, what happened to men today? Great question. What started out as a good thing, encouraging men to respect women, has swung way too far in the opposite direction. Now, a lot of men are terrified of women. So, they wait for perfect conditions before making a move. But courage doesn't exist without risk. And women can't respect men who don't risk anything. So as a man, if you want to be seen as confident, you've got to be willing to look stupid, to get rejected, to be misunderstood. So start by taking small risks. Approach women when you're out and about. Initiate plans with them. You'd be surprised how fast it'll work. Because women nowadays, they're not turned off by that kind of effort. They're starving for it.
Brothers, listen up. He's right that women are starving for masculine effort, but here's the reality pill truth. Don't waste that effort on the useless and selfish crowd. If a woman tells you that helping you is bad luck, leave her to her superstitions. If she tells you her goal is to do less and require more, let her require it from the cat she's going to buy in 5 years. Know your worth. You deserve a partner, not a parasite. You deserve someone who understands that a relationship is a team, not a hierarchy where you're at the bottom providing everything for someone who thinks they're the prize just for existing. We have women openly admitting they want to be useless. We have women claiming that being a partner is bad luck. And then we have the inevitable conclusion, men sneaking out in the middle of the night and women crying on the side of the road because they realize too late that independence is very cold when you're alone. This is what modern dating culture has created, a generation of women who are hitting the wall at 100 miles per hour, wondering why the boss babe lies they were told didn't keep them warm at night. Let me know in the comments, have you ever dealt with a woman who thought being useless was a personality trait? And at what point do you think the strong and independent lie officially crumbles for most modern women? I'll be reading your comments. If you enjoyed this reality check, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.